It's a video going viral of a larger woman who is upset that her date ended abruptly. And there's a big debate over whether or not she is in the right or wrong. Apparently, as the story goes, she is a larger woman who was on a date with a guy, and she showed up. He looked at her and said, "You know what? I'm not feeling it. I apologize. Bye." I'll play the clip for you. And now people are saying it was mean. He must have had ice in his veins. But it sounds like an actually nice story. The issue, of course, is that this woman is morbidly obese. I am not saying that to be disrespectful, but she is. Now, more to the point, this gets to a thread I saw from Zuby, where he mentions both men and women are more honest towards men than they are towards women. It's harder to live in long-term delusion as a man because other men and women give you harsh, rapid feedback. Nobody cares to coddle you. Short term, it hurts. Long term, it's an advantage. He says this is why body positivity and fat acceptance are female domains, not male ones. You cannot convince an obese man that he's beautiful or gorgeous or perfect just how he is. We don't get positive validation for mediocrity or failure. It's also why self-improvement content for women is usually focused on affirmation and validation. You are enough. You're a goddess. Whereas male self-improvement is direct and harsh. You are not meeting the standard. You need to do better. It has all sorts of repercussions and societal implications. I can't write a whole essay right now, but it's an interesting topic to me because I'm seeing how it plays out over time, and it's resulting in a lot of pain, confusion, and disappointment. This is why you hear the phrase man up for men and women on all sides, yet woman up is not in our vocabulary. It's why when you hear the word loser, you think of a man, even though many women are losers too, just thinking out loud. Now, there are responses that Zuby has made, which I'll jump back to. But let's start with this story of the large woman and her shortest date ever.
On just for this date, so it better go well. And I'm not posting this probably if it doesn't. It did not go well. Truthfully, it lasted less than 2 minutes. I walked up, he gave me a hug and said, "Are you hungry? Let's go inside." We went inside. He said, "Actually, can you step outside for a minute?" I stepped back outside and he said, "I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just not feeling it." So I walked to my car, came back home.
And that's it.
Dating when you're fat sucks.
Oh, ma'am. I'm sorry. I need to call her out a little bit. Some people have pointed out that she made it very clear. This 9mm SMG on X says she explicitly stated several times that she was a large woman. She did not hide this fact. Some people thought she was catfishing. But we've got this, and it's her crying about what went down, replying, saying, "I like my hair. I'm not going to dye it." She has gray hair. "I like my brows. I'm going to keep wearing it." And she says, someone responded, "It was actually mature of him. Why fake it then ghost her later? Only confusing to me is, did he not see pictures of you before the date?" And to Zuby's point, I give you this from her TikTok.
Anyone like you an explanation, but I have PCOS, which means that I have hormone imbalances that make losing and maintaining weight impossible. There are lots of reasons that people can be overweight, but I don't need people in my comments saying that it's not okay to be overweight. I was raised in the 90s and early 2000s. I already know that it's not okay to be overweight in this country.
Here we go.
5Ks. I work out every single day. I close all 3 of my rings on my watch every single day, and I eat healthy.
No, you don't.
I never get sick. I'm actually the healthiest person that you probably know. I just don't look like it. Quite frankly, I don't owe anyone an explanation, but this comment is rude.
The commenter said, "So I know everyone on here is sugarcoating the big picture, but let this be a wake-up call. If you're overweight, then maybe make the change for you. Don't let others make you think it's okay to be fat." And
wow.
I think
I love her.
So in this, she shows
to get more than like 200 views. I do write, and I'm very.
I don't know where she posts the photo.
Plus,
oh, I think it's the thumbnail. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, look, I'm not trying to rag on this lady specifically, but she is overweight. And Zuby makes an interesting point that I'll break down for you. I'm sorry. You can't just come out and say, I have PCOS, so I can't lose weight. I work out all the time and eat healthy. No, you don't. This kind of overweight, morbid obesity did not exist 100 years ago. It just literally did not. Now, it's entirely possible that through medical technology, people who normally would not have survived do, and now we do see more of these ailments. This is actually 100 years ago. She may have just died as a child. I'm not trying to be sick or mean or crude or crass, but we've made great strides in helping people survive. So now someone with polycystic ovarian syndrome doesn't suffer nearly the same consequences as somebody a long time ago and maybe improves survivability, but now you've got overweight people. I will respect that there are medical issues that result in people being overweight. I think one of the big challenges we face is that this country is eating a bunch of garbage. As RFK Jr. points out, we've got weird chemicals in all our food. People don't even know what half the ingredients are. Sometimes they're just vitamins, and that's fine. But sometimes they're weird petrochemicals. Why are you eating, what do we have, propylene glycol? We use that to de-ice airplanes. And they're like, it's totally inert and fine if you eat it. Well, you don't have to. It's just weird. These weird, and look, people talk about seed oils and all that stuff. I ain't going to get in the nitty gritty of seed oils, but I'm going to tell you, what is vegetable oil? Tell me, please. It's oil from vegetables. Which ones? You kidding me? How about some olive oil? Okay, if you said it was corn oil, I'd be like, okay, it's from corn. I get that. But vegetable oil is a blend of a bunch of random things. So just don't play that. I'm not playing. So you say you eat healthy, yes. But while I don't blame her for this, American food is poison. Okay, not all of it, not all the time, but largely you're buying stuff off the shelves, you're eating garbage. But let's go back to what Zuby is saying. This woman is saying, I do everything right. And don't tell me it's not okay to be fat. I know. And here it is. Guys who are overweight know they are. And they know they shouldn't be. And some of them have just accepted it. Some of them say it's hard. But as Zuby points out, he's right. People go to women all the time and they say, you're perfect just the way you are. Love yourself. What is it? Who has those? Was it Emma Emhoff or whatever her name is? Is that her? I don't want to blame it. It's not her. She has a pair of socks called I Heart Me. And that is very much what women do. Now, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Not that it's a good thing, but it does. This woman is overweight, went on a date. The guy was polite and said, I'm not feeling it. I'm not trying to offend you. Have a good one. And then she's crying, saying, oh, it's so hard to date when you're fat. Look, there is a more complex reality than calories in, calories out. And it is very silly that people say that. And I'll tell you why. Eating protein and fat are calories, and they do different things than carbohydrates do, especially different people. Carbohydrates are going to spike your blood sugar. If you eat 2,000 calories a day of just spaghetti, you get no protein. If you eat 2,000 calories of just protein, you get no fat. You got to get your macros. Now, me, I'm doing keto, so I mostly don't eat the carbs. That's just me. Everybody's different. But I take responsibility for my life. So I gained a lot of weight, and I said, okay, I guess I'll change things. And so I did. And then I said, there you go. I don't know. So not everything works for everybody the same way. But for men and women, we see this. Women will be lied to and they'll say, it's glandular. It's not your fault you're fat. And it's like, dude, there's two worlds here. One is maybe it is glandular, but it's still your choice in how you live and what you do and putting food in your mouth. If you're eating an excess of carbohydrates and working out, you will still gain weight. That's why calories in, calories out, not so simple. Though it is still simple to say if you deprive yourself of calories of any sort, you do lose weight. Make sure you're taking vitamins and talk to a healthcare practitioner or whatever. Don't take medical advice from me. Elon Musk with the ever apt, yeah. And Zuby with the peace sign. Melissa Chen responds, that said, there's a cultural dimension to this. Outside of the West, women don't coddle women. Our mothers were the first to give us the truth that we were fat, that we were stupid, the world doesn't owe us a living, that we needed to work harder. This sisterhood of affirmation where women relate to other women with fake compliments seems to largely be endemic to Western society because it places a premium on compassion. And Zuby says, yes, I am referring to Western societies, particularly Anglosphere. It's not like this everywhere. Nigerian auntie, when did you get so fat? That's right. Ryan Raleigh said, life actually becomes easier once you realize how hard it can be. And Zuby says, agreed. You get constant reminders. Stephen Valdez responded saying, I have learned that many women cannot handle the truth and that this notion that they have smaller egos than men is simply not true. I can think about my ex-girlfriends who couldn't handle when I was honest with them. And Zuby responds, the people most likely to be honest to a woman are male relatives in my observation. Those who truly want the best for her but have no intrasexual competition, sexual interest, or other motives to lie. Eddie DeJamrocker says society, such as it's currently structured, relies on women being lied to on multiple levels in multiple ways. Many are not built to handle cold, hard facts. Now, other people go on to make other comments and other points here, but I will just round it out by saying this quite simply. This is generally true. Men and women lie to women. That's the reality. Guys are trying to hook up with women. And so you get the male feminist. No joke. Now, you get guys who are more right-leaning. And let's break this down. This is actually really interesting. Let's say you're a high-tier guy, whatever that means. You're a guy that is 6 foot tall, blue eyes, chiseled, fit, and you make $250,000 a year. You ain't lying to anybody because you can do whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. You've earned it. Well, your height, that was God's gift to you. Congratulations. Your physique, some people just got it, but you're probably working out, of course, and you're eating healthy. And so you say, I earned it. I can have what I want. You got beautiful women, whatever. Some liberal woman comes up to you and she's fat. You say, look, ma'am, with all due respect, I'm not trying to be mean, but you're very overweight. I'm not interested in dating you. And she's, oh, how dare you? It's not just about male relatives, but guys who don't need to compete because they're already winning. They'll tell the truth to anybody. And they're going to say, I can get any woman I want. Low tier men, again, whatever that means, I'm talking about like whether guys are considered to be tall. So you got a guy who's, 5'6". He's thin, scrawny, squeaky voice, poor, and he's having a hard time dating. He's going to say whatever he has to say to get that woman. That's it. He's going to lie. And so there's a lot of these guys. Then you're going to get other women. Listen, the advantage a woman has to lying to another woman, there's a fat woman. She goes, you're beautiful just the way you are. She's taking her out of the marketplace. She's saying to that woman, don't change a thing about you. They don't deserve you. Then when she goes to the bar, that woman's not picking up guys. So the advantage for males and females is always going to be towards lying to women. Men, it's not so much as an advantage there. It's that nobody cares. If there's a guy who's small, the women are going to be like, dude, you're under 6 feet, not interested. And he's going to be like, now I know. They're telling you exactly what they think. So that's the reality on the surface. That being said, there's a whole spectrum here where some people say women are lying and men are lying and whatever that means. I think when it comes to dating, and things like body positivity, Zuby is correct. And that's why this woman says, I've got a glandular problem, so I can't lose weight. For real, dude? I don't buy that stuff. I knew a woman and she was like, I've got thyroid dysfunction, so I'm fat. And I'm like, do you have thyroid dysfunction because you're fat? Not the other way around? Okay, look, you need to actually ask the question of your doctor. You need to do research and figure out what you are doing wrong because you are. That's the reality. You can be what you want to be. The idea that you can be morbidly obese, your body requires calories to function. Like after a couple weeks of not eating, you are withering away, and that's not healthy. Like nobody should crash diet like that. The point is, fat can be burned and can come off. You're just doing something wrong. I know this is not universally true. Some people don't have legs, and it's very difficult to work out. That I get. Some people do have legitimate glandular problems and disabilities. But I'm just saying, of so many of these people who are outright just like, I have a glandular problem, that's why I'm overweight. It's like, dude, no, you're doing something wrong. You need to figure out what works for you and how you improve yourself because it can be done. Me? Look, man, I did keto for 2 years, and I've always, I was thinking about it. I always just not a big fan of sugars and much bigger fan of fats. And so earlier this year, got a personal trainer, started lifting, and I said, I'm going to get off keto and I'm going to do what you tell me to do. And I was told to eat a lot of carbs, 200 and some odd. And I'm like, that is an insane amount of carbs. I've never eaten that much. Well, that's the macros you're supposed to do. I started putting on a weight, and I wasn't putting on muscle. I was putting on body fat percentage. And I'm like, look, I was skating every day, burning about 1,500 calories, some days 2,000, intense VO2 max, super burn workouts. Then I'd go upstairs and lift until the point of exhaustion and was putting on body fat. I didn't come out and say, I must have a glandular problem. I'm gaining weight no matter what I do. I'm working out so much. I was like, I better cut the carbs down. My trainer was like, I think maybe it's just too much carbs. Your metabolism is different. And then one day I was eating a bowl of freshly made guacamole from a local Mexican restaurant. And I said, I just like guacamole more than I like flan. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a big old thing of steak with guacamole and sour cream. I said, I'll do keto again. And then there we go. And now my energy levels are higher than ever. That's me. I didn't sit here and say, it's not fair. I'm gaining weight, but working out. I was like, it's not working. I'm going to change something. And then I did. Now I feel great. So here I am. I don't know what to tell you guys. Everybody's different, okay? But I do genuinely think this idea from Zuby is actually kind of interesting. Now, the thing about PCOS, I can tell you, is that I know people who have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and they tend to be tall and manly. Not trying to be mean to them, you know what I mean? But they tend to be more masculine, bigger hands, taller because of, but that's just, I don't know. Maybe those just the people that I knew. Could be wrong. But at any rate, the world is what it is, my friends. Thank you all so much for hanging out and watching. I just want to give a shout out one more time to YouTube. No longer number one. We're now losing to what is this, League of Legends? Oh, it was a big contest. League of Legends, shout out. But we're number 2 featured on YouTube. That's pretty amazing. I appreciate it, YouTube. I really do. This show is not as big as IRL. IRL is like twice the size when it comes to live viewership, but it is crazy to see that Timcast IRL and The Morning Show are being featured on YouTube on their live page. That's based. So here's to many, many more. We have a big month. Election is coming up. Smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with everyone you know, and follow me on X at Timcast. Become a member at timcast.com. Give us a good rating in the podcasts, and we'll see you all tonight at 8 p.m. for Timcast IRL. We'll see you then.